There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the name. And in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about the greatest wealth transfer in history. All right. So, a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people don't understand what's really going on, why people are saying it's the greatest wealth transfer. Some people actually think that it's because of the economy. They think that because the economy is crazy right now, coming due to like recessions and pandemics and things like that. A lot of people think that the wealth transfer is because of that. And it's not really because of that. All right. So gas prices are high, stock market's falling, stock market is up, real estate crash is looming, real estate super high. All of these things are not why people are talking about the greatest wealth transfer in history. The reason for the quote unquote greatest wealth transfer in history is because of the baby boomers. Okay, our parents going into retirement. My mom is a baby boomer. I am a millennial. That's right, I'm a millennial. And so there's gonna be some changes coming. The reason why I want to even make this video is because I think that people need to understand like a little deeper about what's really about to happen. All right, so let's talk about it. Baby boomers. Okay, so baby boomers, in case you don't know what, the reason why the baby boomers have such a huge population, it was because soldiers coming back from a war and having a bunch of children. And so those children made it basically a baby boom in the United States. So that's when things such as, I guess, like Johnson and Johnson, and when the Mustangs and all of that stuff kind of just aged with that group, because when I say Johnson and Johnson and Mustang, is because there was so many babies that was born during a certain time frame. Pampers and milk and things like that from certain companies for like baby milk and stuff like that. Like that kind of stuff saw a boom. They were running out of Pampers, running out of baby food. They were running out of all of these things, and those companies that produce that kind of stuff, they saw a huge rise in like purchases, and production like jumped up. And so for those companies, of course, it became a great thing, but those companies also became a household name, things like that. But those companies are still around today because of said generation. And as that generation got older, right, when that generation started turning 15 and 16, imagine right now it's like 75 million baby boomers or something like that, some crazy number. And I think right now they're saying like 10,000 baby boomers turn 65 or something like that, or retire every day. I think it turns 65 like every day. 10,000 new baby boomers are turning 65 every day. I don't know how long it's going to run for, but it's been doing this. They've been doing this for like years now. And so imagine 10,000 16-year olds turning 16 every day for many years, right? A lot of those 16-year-olds are going to be trying to get cars, and that's basically what happened. And that's how like certain cars became like popular, because this baby booming generation. That's why I said like the Mustangs. Certain cars became like the I guess like they just produced so many because people wanted them, and they were turning 16 every day, and so they couldn't make enough of it. And so at every level, this generation kind of made a made the nation change, I guess you can say, because at a certain age, that generation, as soon as they got to a certain age, there was this huge influx of people, right, coming into like the economy, buying things, different phases in life. And right now, like the retirement or assisted living facilities and things like that, it's doing really, really well in because that generation is now going into retirement. Some of them, excuse me, some of them are sick right now, so that kind of thing. But a lot of like even healthcare and stuff like that is going to see a huge boom. We're seeing a huge boom because the baby boomers getting older, right? And so they control about 71 trillion, or at least $70 trillion of wealth right now. And if you look at 70 trillion, to put that in context, um, I believe that's like 7 million millions. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 70 million millions. Think about it like that. So, yeah, that's how much money that is. That's a lot. 70 million millions, okay? And so that generation, as they get older and as they downsize houses, as they pass along, um, they start leaving things to their children. Some of them will still be alive. They'll just be like, yo, I'm not going to be in control of this anymore. I'm too old. My son needs to, my daughter needs to do whatever. And so there will be a wealth transfer, a huge, huge trillions of dollars transferred. And I guess they have projected around 2030 is where we'll see the majority, I guess maybe feel the majority effect or see a large portion of it kind of start getting transferred over to millennials. Now, I want to tell you, the reason I'm telling you all of this is because this is two different types of generations, okay? Millennials are, to record, I guess, the poorest generation. Um, we're the poorest generation, I don't want to say in history, but we're the poorest generation that's currently active right now. Not talking about our children, but you know. So millennials are poor, right? We're the poorest, right? So we're about to become the richest. Okay, so we're going from the poorest generation to the richest in the next couple of years. If you know anything about mindset, poor people, I talked about this in a previous video, poor people do poor people things. Rich people do rich people things. This is a mindset shift, right? So if you separated all the money in the nation, in the world, it'll end up right back in the same group of hands that, that currently control it. Over a period of time, it will end up right back the same probably top 1% of people will end up with all the money all over again because they have a certain mindset. They understand money, they understand the economy, they understand how to get it. If you separate the money, it'll end up right back in those same people's hands. It's just what it is. So we need, with us all being poor for the most part, and now being left this windfall, even if you're not going to be left anything from your parents or grandparents or things like that, even if you don't get left anything, there's going to be a lot of things up for grabs. There's going to be a lot of estate sales. There's going to be a lot of foreclosures due to people not paying taxes who might have been left these houses and mansions and cars and all of that kind of stuff. But these houses are going to be coming into foreclosure in the coming futures if the children don't know what they're doing. So even if you may be like, well, I don't, I don't have anybody who's leaving me anything, you're going to probably find some pretty good deals in the next few years. We're talking still maybe, it might still be 10 years, 15 years from now, but that stuff will eventually get transferred over to us. So millennials in the coming future will own projectedly about 50% of all real estate. All right, it's going to be a huge wealth transfer. Now, do I think that 70 million millions or $70 trillion is going to be transferred in the next 10, 15 years? No, probably not all of it, But if there's a good 40 million, 40 trillion that gets transferred over the next 15 years, that is such a huge amount. Think about it. We're talking about 40 million millions. 40 million millions. My numbers could be off, but I think it's something like that. 40 million millions, all right? That's a lot, all right? It's enough. 40 million millions, okay? If you don't get $1 million out of this, if you don't get $1 million out of this wealth transfer, it's something wrong with you, okay? It's like free money everywhere. Just gonna be crazy, all right? So I need you to also start thinking about your mindset. You gotta have a different mindset, because if not, you're gonna get $1 million, you're gonna get $10 million, $5 million, you're gonna get whatever, and you're gonna mess it up, all right? You're gonna mess it up. That's just what you're gonna do. It's no way around it, you know? 1% of $1 trillion, I believe, is 1% of $1 trillion, I believe, is $1 billion. And 1% of $1 billion is 10 million. That's crazy. All right? It's crazy. So you guys need to get your mind right, because the wealth transfer is coming. Get your stuff together. Go back, mend those relationships with your old family members who are in the baby booming generation. Find out what all they got going on. See how you can assist them in growing the family legacy, or whatever you got to do, but go do that. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and get ready for the greatest wealth transfer that the world has ever known. And I'm out. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Me and
her together, we just counted up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap.
Say you want to be successful. Well, what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I called the Bus and Basic Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino